Each of them have the chance to throw at least one question in the game because we want to make it as interactive as possible because it's also a place where everyone can learn from each other. Those being said, we are moving forward. Alex, they know I disclosed to them one aspect about yourself, and there are some people here that already tried it. So you might be surprised in case they come in the computer to ask questions.
Okay, so hi everybody, my name is Alex. I'm part of also Jake, and my, let's say, expertise in entrepreneurship and mostly in rural area because I grew up in a farm in the southeast of Romania. My family had a farm, we had cows, we also were the fields with and other types of crops. I grew up there and understand the life in a small rural area. I think we were in that village around 1,000, 2,000 people, no more than that. Also, we had a very diverse community of Turks and Tatars. And also because that area had a lot of people who were moved from other parts of Romania by the communists. We had like a different aspects of culture interpretation, for example, from Moldova or from Transylvania. So I grew up like in a very, very mixed, nice mix of culture, and I had to adapt in that. At 18 years old, I took the business of my family, and I started a project, a project with European funds for young entrepreneurs in agriculture. I continued that. I got the funding very hard because there are a lot of people, if you don't have the right connection, who will not help you a lot. It was really tough, a lot of documentation, a lot of understanding of what I'm doing, and also how to do the proper way the documentation, very hard, and all the paperwork. And right now I also try to do something more in the ecological area. To move, for example, to using less fertilizer and things like that. I try to explore, and also maybe I got some funding for that. And also my expertise, I was manager for president of community of students, mostly in the entrepreneurship area, facilitating entrepreneurship activities, projects, also with Jay facilitating other activities. That's pretty much the whole area I have expertise. I don't know what I can say more.
You mentioned many fields that sparked some interest. Maybe one of the things that I think is quite unique in this lineup is the aspect of rural areas and farming, agriculture. Is agriculture still trendy for young people nowadays?
No. In my area, I think I have a job with my parents that they are the last generation there, living there. The only like 4 or 5 big families with a lot of land remain. Most of the young people are living or abroad or in the big cities. and it's really tough to find young people. That's the reason we usually do just big project, big works like wheat and other crops, corn. Because if you like do vegetables or grew animals, you don't have people. It's very hard. Even with all this technology, it's very hard to do it only like in 2 4 people. And most of the time it's just family.
And maybe just as a follow-up, as you we have here people from France, from Italy, Slovakia. And one of the things that all these countries have in common is the agricultural part. What would be specific for Romanian agriculture? Or what you notice as a farmer yourself?
Okay, I think it's interesting. We have right now a really very special situation because we also have the war in Ukraine, and this change a lot the commercial area, the trade with wheat and other crops, and also we are developing. We had economies. All the land was put the economies, then it gave to the people, but it's give to the people back. They didn't know how to work with that, and you will see a lot of like bad farmers who got land and lose some or sell it very fast. And I think those two are very specific.
Prepare your questions. Your time is coming very soon. Thanks a lot, Alex. And from Alex, we are moving forward. You have your pointer there.
Yeah.
The color, I've been told, is just a coincidence. So, if you are in cooperation with Agnes over there.
Agnes, nice to girl. So, hi everyone. I'm Denisa, and I have to start by telling you that I am very happy to be here. I was part of ESSUMAN projects a long time ago, I think, Gabi. And I'm so very happy that Gabi is taking this tradition and carrying on decades more. So I met Gabi when I was working at the Prime Minister's office in the Romanian government. So that was 10 years ago. I had a very exciting career there. I was in charge of a lot of youth, I think 800 interns were in my care and responsibility along 3 years. They worked in a lot of very interesting institutions in the Romanian government. And as you can see, I had a lot of fun with them. However, you know, there comes a time when you have to move on from where you feel safe. So I started migrating towards other places in the Romanian administration where I didn't feel as happy. I didn't feel like I had, you know, enough motivation. I didn't feel like the results were coming as fast as I needed them to keep me motivated and to keep me, you know, happy with my life and happy with my career. And once you know, but Florentina said, I do work until, you know, 12 in the night, and I do feel the need to see very fast results because of that. So this is where my energy comes from. So I started migrating toward entrepreneurship, and I started doing a lot of consultancy work, either European funds, either strategy restraints. I actually have gotten better than I had expected. The president of the local chamber of commerce wrote to me that I won second place in my county for my business income. So I didn't even know that. I wasn't keeping track of leaders like this. But yeah, without the added bureaucracy, I think I did that better. And even though my social component is not as, as trackable anymore on paper, I do feel I have more time to connect better with my clients and to serve better the needs of my clients. And for instance, one of the things that I've been doing is helping a lot of public institutions innovate the way they are doing their businesses. And even though I didn't always have a contract with them, I didn't always earn money, and you shouldn't do that. You should always charge for every second that you spend with a client. But I didn't do that. I got myself involved in all sorts of consultative boards, advisory boards for the government or for local authorities, and I helped them innovate their business models, their service delivery models, for instance, for the citizens, and I helped them identify all sorts of redundancies. And I think this has actually gotten a much more social impact than what I was doing before when I was just jamming paperwork. So I feel like I've been talking a lot. So thank you, and I will. Should you want to discuss more, I'm here. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Denisa. Maybe just to clarify, what was the
So basically, I was trying to help them get access to online education and
so I hear honorable Gilles, I hear inclusion, I hear education, and I know that some of your ideas are linking to this as well. So this was the examples. And before moving forward, I just want to disclose to you how this roundtable has been set up. So a month ago or so, I've been launching a LinkedIn poll, asking who would feel like sharing their entrepreneurial experience, and it would happen that they will be on this day, 24th of September at 2:30 p.m. in Bucharest, and will be available. So this is also something I'm doing from time to time. I'm testing the unique community, because if you just collect contacts there and you let them try, it's useless. So from time to time, it's also good to activate your community, to get recommendations, to get people in events, to get speakers in events, to get maybe contractors, collaborators, mentors, whatever, because then you become an active piece of the system. Otherwise, people forget about you, and that's why I also a couple of times a week to make sure people know what is coming back next. So, moving forward, we have you.
So I was one of those people who contacted to see if he's interested in my experience. I worked for 10 years in communications for corporations, market leaders, and also Romanian entrepreneurs. I have seen here a lot of common subjects in both entrepreneurs and corporations. I worked for about 3.5 years for a business working in restructuring. What I found out is that in 5 years, most of the businesses die. So yes, most of them.
Some
So it's
ideas
like a test.
just need 6 months, they don't need 5 years.
Yes, of course. So the first 2 years are critical to any business. And I'm not here to disappoint you or to bring some negativity, but what we learned from all these experts is that that failed was that don't go alone. Don't leave yourself struggling. Ask for help. Don't be ashamed that it's hard for you sometimes. If you need counseling, if you need expertise, don't just lay there and complain about something or maybe feeling blocked. But if you know your connections, your network, and somebody has the expertise, go and ask them for help or maybe pay for an hour of consultancy. It doesn't matter, but this is what I found out that even businesses with 20 or 30 years of experience in the market, when they find a blockage, when it's a crisis or so on, they isolate, they close, they don't go outside themselves, they just stay in their minds. And that's the moment where everything starts falling apart, the family stops supporting, because everything is like going worse and worse and worse, and to a point that you cannot save anything. But this is not the topic that I was planning to do. It's just that it was a common subject here. I am here to talk about making yourself visible, creating a network of connections. People are always buying from people, not from brands like companies, entities, or it doesn't matter. So if your personal brand is something that people rely on, they trust, if you are communicating about what your services or product is doing, if your product is good, if you know you are now in different stages, but at the moment when you know what are you selling, what are you putting on the market, that is the moment where you should start getting visible. Because if nobody knows about your product or service, nobody will buy it. And you cannot rely on family and friends, because it's like, how much can they do? I don't know, maybe 2 months, but I doubt it anyway, because even them may prefer another product because they come from for something and maybe it's not suitable for them. But what I want to say is, if you are in the stage where you know your way, you know what is your product, you have some clarity on your business and the benefits of the product or service you are trying to sell, put yourself there on the market, get visible, create not just a brand for your business, because maybe you want to create a business with logo and so on. It's very normal if you want to grow larger in the future and so on. But now that you are at the beginning of things, what you are selling is yourself, your reputation, the people trusting you. This is what sells. Because you go there, you speak about your expertise, you speak about the product, people get to know you, get to know what is your expertise. If you really know what you do, because the quality is very important. It's not like you can have good marketing, but if the product is bad, it won't solve that. So the best way is to have a very good product and also a very good communication around it. And storytelling is like, now I'm speaking all over the place, because there are so many things in communication you can do, but just start doing something. Go small, start observing, start learning from the others. If you go, I will recommend LinkedIn because it's the cleanest platform at the moment. Okay, maybe you can have TikTok. It depends a lot of who is your target audience, because you have to be specific, because you are not selling to the entire world. If you are not specific, nobody will find themselves, they won't recognize themselves in what you sell. If you are selling, I don't know, communication services, you have to go on a niche to say it's for, I don't know, constructions, it's for, agricultural, because if your tendency is to say, I will go general because I will have a bigger market, nobody will come because nobody will hear themselves in what you said. So go on a niche, start going visible, start building step by step. On LinkedIn, it's the cleanest way because it's a lot about your personal expertise, what you have done before, and people seeing your history, let's say, in a professional way. Also, try to be present in networking events because most of the people will think about you not just for being there, they want to feel you. It's like we know people are learning by visual, audio, or feeling things. So they are different. You will find some clients on a channel, but some clients need more. They need to see you, how you communicate, how you connect with them. So go there and you will see that most of the people are inviting other people to events, are inviting people to be present in publications, in magazines, or TV interviews and so on, because they know them, because they can bet on them. So if you don't go and build your network, you will find that when you will go there, maybe in 2 years or 5 years, you will find that there is like a bubble with people who already know themselves in that sector, in that industry. They are inviting themselves, each other, to different programs, events, and so on. They are building together a visibility, a reputation, and so on. And you will be like an outsider, yes. And you will understand then that people don't just ask for somebody to come because they have known them for 20 years, but because they have seen that this person is really well prepared on its area. And then because I have seen him or her last week, I know, oh, I just met somebody, or maybe somebody needs your service and says, oh, but I know somebody, I met this person last week and it's very good, I really liked him, would you like to meet with them? It's like, it's visibility in communication. Also, you don't know, but on LinkedIn there are many journalists, for example, and so many TV shows and online shows speaking about small entrepreneurs, not just here in Romania, everywhere. And people having magazines or people having podcasts and so on. And like now, communication is done by anyone. It's so, I don't know, it's
That's a potential, but
yes,
also
it's
a
also
challenge
a
at the same
potential,
time.
it's a challenge. But when you speak with your own voice, so just don't copy, because if you copy, will be everybody is the same, like with ChatGPT. But as you speak in your real life, speak like that in communication, and you will find your voice step by step, and the people will get the feeling that they know you as a person, and they will resonate with you, and they will become your friends. So just by being yourself, because I have a saying that everyone has its audience. So even it doesn't matter how crazy you are, in this world which is so big, everybody has its audience. So you don't have to.
Thanks a lot, Iulia. And I have a good question for you after we hear also Gilles and Sabin, because in the morning they've been working on the business canvas model, and one of the sections is the channels, how you want to communicate with your audiences. And some of the people know very clear, like I'm gonna use Instagram, I'm gonna use Facebook. Some were really confused, like they were thinking, is there any network that I should be there? Is there what? Keep this question for later, because I think would be quite relevant. Like when you are at the starting point and you don't know which channel shall you start first. Are you going in all of them? You go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, it depends. Question for later. But let's go to Gilles.
I think you made him run away. He thought he was next.
Okay, Gilles, you have the floor.
I thought you deleted me. The second thing I wanted to talk about is we shouldn't be naive. All of you heard of Resopa is today an NGO, but when I started this in 2018, it was a business, and then the idea was the business. In French is recyclage, solidaire, et participatif. So solidarity and participatory recycling. The idea was to create like a recycling hub for people with migrant backgrounds to collect waste, clothes, everything, and then make art of it, sell, and do a lot of things. So do community integration through it, and then raise funds, and create this kind of cool, hippie project. And then, so the project on paper was amazing. Like I won Social Innovation Award in France, #1. Then I went to the European Social Innovation Award, which happened here in Cluj. So from 700 projects in Europe, they selected only 30 innovative projects from Europe, and a few all of us to Cluj. And I got there and I meet a panel like this, we have to pitch. And I pitch my idea, and they're like, wow, this is amazing. And the next question was, how are you going to make money from your idea? And I was like, it's cool, who cares about money? So I was naive in the sense that I thought I could change my world, my community with such an innovative idea, but I didn't think about the financial aspect of it. So let's not be naive about the kind of ideas that we want to implement, but also think about the financial aspect of it, think about the impact of it, think about it. Then the third thing that I wanted to talk about is don't get romantic or attached to your idea. Be attached to the destination. So with my project, RESOPA, which was first Recyclage Solidaire and Participatif, so recycling, solidarity and participatory recycling, now it's RESOP. It's a network of solidarity and participatory network. We don't do a business of recycling, but we organize European projects to help people, research communities to work for themselves, develop ideas. So for those of you who know, RESOPA is coordinated. So I wrote this project and that's why we are here. But if I didn't change the path, maybe we would not be here. So I didn't get attached to the idea, but I got attached to the destination. And the destination was what? Was to create a space where people can meet with different backgrounds, to share ideas, to develop skills, to network, and do this kind of things. So get attached to the purpose. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is build a community. Build a community in the sense of you cannot change the world alone. Sometimes I think that a lot of motivational speeches and a lot of videos and things we watch make us feel like we can change the world. We are amazing people, but you cannot do it on your own. I'm a solitary person, like I can basically survive alone, do a lot of things alone. But what I learned with my journey is a lot of things you cannot do alone. So for instance, I met Gabby in 2019 in the project where we're actually developing our projects, things like that, where I was working on my initial project. And Gabby introduced me to, so I think he saw me taking notes or something on my computer, like very structured. Like, I like what you're doing. And then he called someone that was looking for a researcher to do research facilitation work. And then I met this person, and then this person introduced me to other people. So then it created a network and a community for myself. And then I kind of built, let's say, a brand of myself. Okay, this guy is a researcher that is structured, good with thinking, facilitation, this kind of stuff. And then he built a community for me. Another example is at some point in my project, I had a very big audit from the European Commission. Everything was clean, I had no issue, but they needed the document like maybe in 2 days. And then for those of you that know France, we love paperwork, we love bureaucracy. So there was no way, even with 3 months notice, I could get it done. But because I had built a community, I had spoken to people, I took my phone, I made a call, and 15 minutes
I think that's quite interesting for the people joining an entrepreneurial program to have the chance to meet the local entrepreneurs together with the foreign ones and to see how we can work together and learn from each other. Those being said, we are moving to Sabin, and as the lineup is gonna be complete quite soon, that means the discussion is moving from here to there in about 7 minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much all for your presentations. It's pretty pop on what you have already said, but I'll try to add some value to the discussion. My name is Sabin. I work being on the opposite side of Florida. I'm on the opposite side of entrepreneurial story. I have no work-life balance. So when the guy works, like last night, I went to the morning. And this is my routine. So every day I'm workaholic. Yeah, I'm an ex-Red Bull employee, ex-advisor of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. I worked in sports since 2014. I also have some hats in the tech industry, but today that's also the sports industry. Yeah, since 2014 we have this model which is follow your passion, which lots and lots of entrepreneurs try to demolish, like about the market fit and what your customers want and so on. But I realized during the years that there are some things that can make the same work. And those are, yes, follow your passion if there is a market for that. And follow your passion and work for that, have the right team. One of the lessons I learned during the years is that if you try to bring with you one more people in your business that are just your friends, but you don't have the knowledge, you don't want to be there, it's more like a pain. And it's a long-term pain, not a long-term help. And choose wisely. This is one of the most important lessons that I learned during the years. Choose wisely the person that you're embarking on this journey, because they are going to be your help, and they can also be your most not visible enemy. Let's say. Yeah, so I work in the sports industry. I have multiple projects and startups and things that want to be started one day in the sports field. Some of them add value to the community, some add value to the government. Let's say. I'll go through them fast, so maybe if something pops in your mind, start a conversation after these. So yeah, we are one of the very few organizations in Romania that promotes sports, not from an athlete, coach, relationship, from business to business and business to government. We're doing data analytics about sports events. We are collecting data about sports organizers, sponsors, number of participants, and so on. We analyze that, and then we try to predict trends and change things that are not moving in the right direction. We have another venture. We have another venture that works in the advocacy. So we have no advocacy office in Romania that works with sports. So we are the first ones in that. We are doing the new legislation, let's say, model. Try to take the legislation from try to create a model legislation and then take one article by one article. Try to do the legislation. We have a training venture that focuses on volunteers and event organizers. We raise their level of professional skills, and afterwards, if we talk about volunteers, we use volunteers event organizers. So they have better events, safer events, and events that know how to work with volunteers and what are the expectations from them. Also, and this is the most tech, let's say, you said about AI. This is the one that uses AI. Work on a mobile app. Are you driving? Sorry, yeah. So you know Waze, the mobile app Waze? yeah, we try to build ways for the mountains, in which you can report in real time the issues that you find in the forest, issues that pass dangers like animals, different other kinds of dangers like avalanches, rockfalls, things that happen, but also the status of infrastructure, mountain infrastructure elements. So let's go there. Let the community do the rescue. Let's go to events that, I don't know, days of mountain rescue service. I don't want to go there, but all the people that are present are there. Start to go this kind of events. So look wisely for your audience. Where is the audience and how can you approach them? Yeah, trust is a very important thing. And when you come from, yeah, I come from a city that is not on a mountain area. I never worked as a ski monitor or mountain rescuer. So people will always look at you first, like, okay, why are you here? What's your business? Like, what are you looking for? Then try to like prepare your speech and pitch again and again and again, because people will start to remind, he's the guy with the analytics, mountain analytics, or he's the guy with the ways of mountains and so on. So yeah, try to refine your business ideas and to interview people, talk with them to see if it's just a startup that solves an issue that you have, or if there is a real market in it. Afterwards, yeah, following your passion may help you get over long working hours, and will probably, hopefully, help you not get burned out.
Thanks a lot, Sabine. I have a quick question, as I was asking also Alex, what is specific for the agriculture in Romania? I don't think you know much about agriculture, but you know much more about sports. So, as we have also foreign guests, would you like to give us just a quick answer on what is special about sports?
Sports or mountain sports or sports in general? Yeah, okay. So, sports in Romania, sports in Romania have a huge heritage from the Communist Party, which is making our lives way harder than in other countries, because we have to change mindsets. Let me give you an example. So for example, in France or in Italy or the Alpine region, people join clubs, sports clubs, or mountain clubs specifically, because they believe in the power of unity, being together with the community. They pay their memberships, so something will happen with that membership. Because of the communist era, the Romanian communist era, people usually expect to receive something from the clubs, not to give something. And that's why the community, the sports community, go very slow from one step to another, because people do not expect to give something, but to receive. So that's a thing that we try to change right now. And we try to explain to people that without their implication, things will not change. And not everything is on the shoulders of authorities, but on the shoulders of communities. And probably we learn it the hard way. Like there are mountain huts that close, like because they are private owned, and they're private owned as an individual who has the mountain hut or the chalet, not as a club that has a chalet. So because it's one person, the business is not working properly, because if you do the business canvas, doesn't, like, there is no way to work, and they close. Eventually they close. So people don't understand why they close. And they're like, okay, maybe if we have a mountain community that everybody pays a membership, mountain membership, maybe it will stay. Congrats. Everybody else in the Western countries know that. So yeah, that's something very specific to the Romanian sports. And that's not only in the mountains, but it's also in other sports. So we try to liberalize and move things from state-owned clubs, private and private education, private.
Maybe just to plus on that, also there's a lot of positive trends going on in Romania right now, actually, where people are actually gathering together to do more things outside because of this and getting lost in social media, we feel more lonely. And also people want to be healthy. And as you age, I gotta say it like that, groups of people like that. So I know the running clubs right now are exploding everywhere. At least every city in Romania has a running club. In Bucharest, we have at least 7 or something like that. I'm also part of a community called Move Outside, in which we meet every Wednesday to do something outside, to just move and like speak with people, interact, or in a way to not like feel.
Where is this audience, online and offline? Where is this audience, online and offline? And then what is reading? What is being present? What do they like? How can you connect with other people? And then you go to that platform. For example, if you are, I don't know, selling food, and you know that your target audience is, I don't know, maybe 25 years old, you will know that maybe they are on Instagram, or maybe other platforms newer that I don't know right now. So you have to know what their age is, what they are working, what are their passions, and so on. You have to just write down everything, and you will discover by time which one is, and it's not your audience, because they will buy or not buy from you. And you go just where you have to be. It's not like you have to be on all of the
So
platforms.
it's acceptable not
Yes,
to,
you
not to
can
set
go
up on
just on
Instagram.
one. Yes,
It's acceptable in
perfectly
2025.
okay. Yes.
They can be entrepreneurs.
Yes,
They can say,
yes,
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not
Yes,
Instagram.
if
It's
it's
possible.
there, if your target
Do
audience
they,
is not
is it
there,
acceptable for them not to have clear accounts in the first month of
Yes.
being an entrepreneur? No, I'm telling this because they put unrealistic
No,
things.
it's
I've been
not
watching the
realistic.
plans, and they are planning to
and
start on
also
three
it's
channels
a
at
lot of
once.
work. It's different kinds of content. They are celebrating or rewarding different kinds of, maybe on Instagram it's video, maybe on LinkedIn it's text, maybe on Facebook it's like with image. So you are not going to do this because like you are hiring a team of people doing all of this, it's too much. And no, you don't have to do everything. You just select which one of the channels brings you the most. And okay, if you want to expand after that, you will choose what is next, but don't do it because you will vanish all of your resources. You will do it for 6 months, maybe just in a burnout. And after that, you will stop. You will say it's not working because you are splitting into too many platforms, not focusing on anything, not producing value, not going targeted. You are doing just for the tick, 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 and then nothing. When you are not getting anything from that.
Thanks a lot, and I think this applies also to the activities that you can start. The more you start setting priorities, if you identify 3 activities you like to involve to have in your business, you don't have to start with all 3 from the day 1. You can start with 1 in the first 3 months, and then everything goes well, activate the second one, the third one.
So
Okay,
testing
we'll be
and
talking about-
learning. Testing.
Thanks a lot. We've been talking a lot, so I think it's only fair if also Hassan will have the first question because he's been analytic over there. He was asking, looking at what's happening over here, who has everyone to put into the game. So Hassan will have the honor.
So actually, my question would be about the spur. So I've noticed that Romania actually is still developing. So to start with sport, it wasn't hard for you at the beginning. And where did the spot? Where did you? I mean, did you choose the location at the beginning? It was in the big cities or the small cities?
So we our team at this moment was totally remotely, so we were from all over the country. The focal point of our business is the mountain area, so we focus on mountain cities. What else? Like what exactly?
I mean about the situation, the economic situation actually in Romania. How was
The analytics?
Yeah.
Okay. We started with all the secondary data that were available worldwide. So it was across the country. But we started with what we had at hand. And afterwards we started to be deeper on things that we received good feedback from the long term. That's very important.
Remember, 30 seconds and 30 seconds answer. And in order to give more people the floor, I will have the difficult mission to make it really 30 seconds. Please. Yep.
So all of you said that we need to work in teams, so we need to have a good team in order to advance in our business. My question for you is how you retain the members of the team and how do you motivate them? Because now we have not only the money, because now we have in our team around 25 members, but in the present moment only 5 of them are active, working actively. And even though we try to keep them motivated, we try to make them more atmosphere and to pay them as much as we can. Something is not working and we need to do every time we need to recruit again and do onboarding process, and this is making us to lose a lot of time. And if you every time you have new beginners in your team, it will slow down the process. How do you do it? How do you maintain your
Thanks a lot.
more than 1 year, let's say?
This question for Gavin.
I don't know.
True. Like to answer?
Who wants to answer? Maybe one.
I think it's many answers. You first have to ask the people who are living quickly why they are living, to know what is the root cause of the problem. And then you have many solutions like connecting with them more personally, like going out, making different kinds of activities with them. Also, internal communications is very important. How you bridge the gap between the management, the team, creating the vision, the direction, and so on, and the people who just receive the objectives or the tasks. So you have to make this closer in order for them to feel engaged, involved, and also that they have a saying, because you are a small business if you have 25 people. So also those people with whom you are doing this work, they will form a nucleus of people that will stay. Some of them will leave because naturally that they will chase another opportunity because of the money, or it doesn't matter. But at least to have a strong nucleus around where you can just attract. And also employer branding, because employer branding is what your employees, your colleagues, the nucleus is speaking outside of the business with other people on social media and so on about the business, about daily activity, about the team and so on. And this is what attracts you.
So, anyone wants to add before?
I was wondering, what this is about.
We work in education, we do seminars for teachers, but types of techniques, course and other types of events, basically in education.
I was wondering if you really did 5.
Sometimes we do, because we have a lot of to spread around. And we have a lot of times that we didn't find one man available, even though we had 35. It's like, this is very specific. Try and source.
Try different types of building the team, because the team can be built in several ways. Like, it's not just employment. It may have a network of partners that you invest in training them. And you know that you have a pool of 40 people. You don't pay them regularly because you don't activate them regularly. Then when it's the time you launch a call, 2 out of 40 will say yes. So you have the 2 people to pay for.
Sabin here has an amazing network of trained professionals, as he mentioned. So,
Also, you can access like student associations who access their network.
difficult ones. You do have to find ways to like still make money. So like this is it. I try to like balance it, as I said there, I try to do it slowly but steadily. You know, I still try to focus on teaching. I have my students having an exam in December that I'm preparing them from, and I'm like, how can I make it better? How can I be there for them? But how can I also be there for my business? So it's really a matter of time management and how good you are at multitasking and having 100 tabs open. And sometimes delegating, because what they said amazing about community and people, I don't necessarily have a team, but I have collaborators. So if I need photos for something, I have somebody. There is a guy doing my website right now. There is somebody else doing that. So like a bit trying to find people that can like help you. Amazing Romania, sometimes it happens for free if you know the right people. It's a very Romanian thing, but it's also good to pay.
So your question was about what happened to
The closing, the idea, the closing, recycling.
so the recycling is what we can wrestle back. So basically, I admit I was naive about a lot of things, but the third part, like I said, don't be emotionally attached so much to the idea, but more to the destination. Why do you want to do that idea? Why do you need that path? Because there are 1,000 ways to get to Rome, as the people say, right? So how about looking at other perspectives to get there? So I realized that I did an introspection. I realized that do I actually just want to do the recycling part because I am so passionate about waste management, or the initial idea is to create a space where people can be from different backgrounds, have this cultural thing. So I didn't make any money out of it. I did many pitches and all of them were like, you're amazing, you're so sweet, but we are not going to make any money from your ideas. So can you get out, please? You know, so I eventually had to sit down and then I was like, okay, how do I make this work? So I took 1 year after my master's studies and I did a lot of trainings, a lot of, because we have something we call diplomacy job. So it was like a year-long project management program to know how to develop a business, to get trained on a very pragmatic approach, because the thing is not to stay in the bubble of your idea, just how do you translate the idea to action? And then so I did a lot of trainings, I attended a lot of Erasmus, and later I was like, look, if I really just want to create a community where people can meet and then share knowledge and then also be able to empower people to do things that they like and turn also their ideas into action, maybe there are other ways to do it. And then eventually I can still do the things that I want to do. So I've still worked on recycling projects. I've still actually one of the projects that we did in Phosphate Garden, we did like a recycling project with a press, we made key holders and stuff. So I still managed to do it. But then how I imagine at first that I wanted to do it is not how I got to the result. But it takes a long time. I started the project in 2017,
means that the mechanism has transformed social economy in Romania. It has transformed from a grant to a financial instrument. So basically what it means is that the EU now finances banks or other financial intermediaries that in turn use the money they got from the EU to subsidize the interest on loans that they gave to social businesses, or if not subsidized, maybe then provide guarantees in case the small will fail. Basically, they will from the EU funding. So the philosophy of funding is nowadays a little bit different than in Romania, but I assume the FSD instrument was sustainable. So no, I'm not seeking. I did not basically, my business is now self-sustaining just from increasing my
Then to make it quick, like the fact that you're non-profit does not mean that you cannot make profit in the staff working for the non-profit. So you can you have to find ways of making money either through donation.
Hi everyone, hi everyone. Ciao a tutti, l'avete ben visto, eravamo in diretta a farvi vedere questo momento di condivisione, momento ricco di insegnamento, sempre nell'ottica di portare le nostre comunità a iniziative che possano influire nello sviluppare le competenze di... Infatti, noi come Camita APS abbiamo iniziato, come ben l'avete notato, in questi anni, processi di integrazione, ovvero processi di formazioni rivolti a membri dell'associazione oppure soltanto membri delle nostre comunità che abbiano espresso la voglia di formarsi oppure la voglia di sviluppare piccole attività. In quest'ambito siamo entrati a far parte di questa realtà che si chiama SPARC, è una rete europea di associazioni che portano avanti progetti di sviluppo sia a livello locale che internazionale. Infatti abbiamo fatto il viaggio di Bucarest in modo da poter accompagnare i partecipanti venuti dall'Italia e più che altro approfittare anche di quei bei momenti di condivisione per diciamo un attimo farvi vedere le attività della nostra associazione. E siccome l'abbiamo ben detto, approfittiamo anche di queste occasioni per amplificare la nostra rete e più che altro posizionarci o posizionare l'associazione come una realtà ormai ben nota a Torino che comunque vuole farsi conoscere all'internazionale oppure fuori dall'Italia, sempre nell'ottica del nostro motto, The Diaspora Empowerment. Quindi voi che ci avete seguito la diretta con tanta fatica, più che altro perché non eravamo ben coperti a livello tecnologico, problemi della wifi, eravamo in un luogo un po' isolato, l'abbiamo trovato molto adeguato per la formazione, anche se per discorsi tecnologici siamo stati un po' indietro. Comunque, a voi che ci seguite, a voi che guardate sempre le nostre puntate, le nostre dirette, oppure semplicemente che partecipate alle nostre attività, è stato un piacere e poi tante le grazie a tutti. Fra poco torneremo, questo è vero, con tante altre iniziative. È anche l'occasione per noi di ringraziare tutti i partecipanti che si sono iscritti, prima di tutto, hanno creduto al progetto e che comunque si sta svolgendo bene e stanno imparando un sacco di cose. Avremo un modo a Torino di fare un resoconto con la vostra presenza, ovviamente. Nothing else to say, just a big thanks to you all who let's say tuned in order to follow up this live. A big time for you all in everywhere you are in France, from Rezopa, in Slovakia, from Orti, Slovakia, in Romania, Bucharest, from Jake, and you guys from Torino, in Italia. A big thanks. Ciao a tutti. Tante le grazie. Bye.